Cool. Then let's just get started. We'll start with a couple of small ones. The first one being that there's some new design updates to the landing page based on what Cheryl gave feedback on. If you now go to the use cases or any page that has prompts, the biggest change is that we removed the subtitles because they were getting in kind of the way of readability, and it was harder to look at all the prompts. And we made the text white on dark instead of the gradient it had, so that it's easier to read. And the users seemed happy about being able to read these more easily and going over them.
Are the cards up at the top? They look like they're alphabetical now too. The
Oh yeah, I
personas
forgot about that one. You're totally right. Yes, these are now alphabetical. So they'll always be kind of in the same spot, even though we add new ones. At least they'll have a structure to them, and people can look more easily for a specific one. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
It would be cool if we put a search box on that page and somebody could type in to filter the cards down below.
Yeah,
Agreed.
totally agree. You know, some like more along those lines, Cheryl had also said, like, hey, can I just search by action? Like, I don't always want to do things according to my persona. And so feels like maybe search would be an easy way to get at that.
One thing that is kind of like that is Stephen Atwell's feedback when someone uses the prompt bar from the homepage, that we return the top cards in the result. If y'all remember, that would kind of be a way to do that. We could also talk about putting a separate search bar on the page. But if we did what Stephen's asking for, we should effectively get what we just said as well. If that makes sense.
Yep.
I think it was this one, right?
Yep, that's the one.
Yep. Okay, thank you for the feedback. Next up, we have a fix for threads. There was a very specific bug that I'm going to show that is not happening right now, and you'll have to trust me that it was happening before the fix. Essentially, when you would create a new thread, and then you navigated to a different thread, and then you went back to the new thread page, this wouldn't work, basically. It would still stay on the old thread, even though you went to the /new thread, but now it's now it works. All right. Next up, we have better highlighting of content. You might have noticed when you go to a thread, if you hover over the response of the LLM, you'll see some highlights. We now allow users to more easily select parts of the response that they would want to quote or do something with. So whenever you highlight on something, clicking inside that highlight box will select all the text inside of the box, and then you can choose to do something with that text. And it just depends on the structure of the text, what exactly will be highlighted. In general, it's anything that's kind of like a new line or like a paragraph. So these list items, when they go into a new line, you can expect that you can hover over individual ones. If you go to some more regular text, you would highlight like one paragraph at a time, kind of like this. Don't have any other examples, but you get direct feedback when you hover over things. So that's the
On
new
that
feature.
context menu is much more prominent now too, that you inverted the colors. Thank you.
Yeah, the colors have been inverted so that they're more apparent. And you can click on one of them and it's gonna ask you to send it, and there you go. And the last one that I have written down here is one that I think everyone's been waiting for, deleting threads. And kudos to Aaron for getting this done. I only did 10%, which was the small UI right here. but now you can delete threads and they're gone. And I
Yeah.
abused it to get rid of my test data.
If a customer reaches out because they accidentally deleted their thread, they're all soft deleted for 30 days. And then after 30 days, they'll be hard deleted. So we do have the ability to recover it. And that leads into, we will need to create some operational tooling. So say anybody here can respond to that request instead of me alone. But right now, an engineer would have to go in and restore the thread. But we can do that. For
But we
30
also
days.
have the concept of a bin, like in Gmail, and it shows you why you deleted, but then it empties after 30 days.
We could. That would just be one more API endpoint that doesn't filter the tombstone marker.
Mhm.
And then we
Good
could,
name.
a user could tombstone or untombstone their content.